Hey guys, how we doing? Hope you're having a good present day today. Today is Monday, and we're going to be reviewing. I'm doing a try to be as quick as I can in a recap for class two from last Saturday, which was on April 20th, 2019. So if you missed it, or if you just kind of wanted to hear about some of the concepts, and by all means, if there's some questions or something that comes up, or even something you like to add, please by all means write in the comment section. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at my notes here as usual. So don't mind me going back and forth. I hope it's not too distracting. So class two is perspective. Um, and one of the themes of class two is thoughts are not facts. And also could be said that you are not your thoughts. So we discussed, gave an example in class about someone that maybe that's walking down the street and they don't say hi to you. They just walk by. And how we can sometimes come up with an entire story. We could write a novel on how that person doesn't like us, or how they heard about what we did or said, or anything, when oftentimes none of that's even true. It's all in our head, in our own head, in our imagination. And we talked about the quote, I think it was Mark Twain, who said, "A whole lot of terrible things have happened to me, some of which are actually true." And that's really a large part of the theme of this class, is trying to be aware of the story and the pattern of our stories when life presents itself with different circumstances. Because oftentimes the way that we approach the outside world, what's happening out here, is how we approach ourselves. And so if we come up with judgments and preconceived notions about what's going on in the world out there, we're going to do that with ourselves when physical sensations and feelings arise. And so the idea is just getting to know, really just understanding it right now. And that's kind of the thing with all these classes, is we're just developing the awareness and acknowledging it, and then coming back to the present moment. Oh, okay, I was I had judgments about that person that was tailgating me. Thinking to myself, how dare this person, how could they do this, and coming up with a whole story about, maybe it's because of the kind of car I drive, or they can see me through the mirror, and we take things personal, when in reality that person was just in a rush, and tailgating isn't a good thing, but nonetheless it really probably didn't have anything to do with us. That person was probably just in a rush and trying to get around us, or whatever. Another important concept that we discussed was, in terms of perception, is that when anxiety or stress or any sort of uncomfortable emotion arises, our perspective for some is that emotion, that discomfort, that stress, or that anxiety is arising because of the the circumstance or the thought that we conjured up. And so we think that it maybe was a bad memory, or maybe we used the example of public speaking. So I've got to go speak in front of a bunch of my colleagues, and I had to do this a week ago in my training, and we're presenting all these classes and all these themes in front of a bunch of other people that are studying this stuff and have been through the same level of training. So there's going to be some nerves there. You really want to have your I's dotted and T's crossed, because you can't they're gonna pick up on it if you're, hey, was that in class 3? Was that the right theme? Are you sure? So I was feeling some anxiety, and a little bit of stress over that, so I can really relate to that. So it's that it isn't the thought of me having to go give a presentation in front of a bunch of other mindfulness teachers that was giving me the anxiety. It was the way that I was treating myself over it that was causing the anxiety. And now anxiety, again, is just a sensation. We deem it uncomfortable, but it's just a sensation. And it kind of has like a lot of stigma to it. So it's a very important concept, and a thing to let sit and understand, because when anxiety or any other uncomfortable sensation arises, we now can understand that a lot of the reason that we're having this reaction is just because we feel like we should. It's just because we're used to thinking that way, as opposed to, oh, I always get anxiety when I have to talk in front of people. When it's just at this point, it's so conditioned for us to react that way to this particular circumstance that we do it. But the discomfort is caused by the action, by us treating ourselves that way, not by the circumstance. And so it's actually, anxiety or any other feelings of discomfort are actually an ally. They're actually trying to guide us towards more peace, more presence, being in the present mind. Because if we're anxious, we're worrying about something in the future. And if we're depressed, we're worried about something from the past. That anytime you have, excuse me, sorry, I'm rubbing my face. Anytime you have discomfort, you can almost guarantee that you're not staying in the present moment. So once again, if there's any questions on that, and please leave a comment or a question, or you all have my email. By all means, contact me through the site or any other way. So that's that, and I want to kind of just check and see where we're at. Yeah, and so thoughts are not facts, and at this point we're observing them, getting to know them, acknowledging them, and then letting them go. And everyone, as we all know, this takes a lot of practice. And we use the example in class about learning how to type. And that when we started out, it was just like G, 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 F, F, F. And when we first started, we couldn't believe that we were actually going to be able to type without looking at the keys. At that point in time, you're just, you're kind of doing the one finger thing. And it doesn't even seem possible. Well, as you keep practicing typing in a systematic, directed way, it's little by little. We start to our mind and our body condition kind of to be able to complete this, and then all of a sudden one day it just sort of clicks, and we're typing away, and we're not even looking at the keys. Sometimes we have to look back at the keys. Well, mindfulness and awareness, staying in the present moment, is very much works the same way. At least I can speak for that, is that over time we get more and more conditioned to apply these techniques and these concepts to our day-to-day life. So don't get frustrated, or recognize that you get frustrated, and investigate that, and know that have some gratitude that you were, when you noticed that you were frustrated, that you were present, and that was the truth of that experience. And that in and of itself is very powerful, and that is sort of the portal or entryway into peace, and recognizing everything for what it is, and without our story. So there's a whole lot more to say on that, just kind of a brief rundown. So thanks for checking in and checking out the site. Once again, if you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and fire away any questions or comments. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great present day. All right.